So obviously, heading into the 2026 Stanley Cup Playoffs, the Montreal Canadiens are going to be facing one of the best players in the league. Nikita Kucherov, everybody, has scored 130 points in 76 games played this year. He might have gone out there and won the scoring title this season if he just played the full year. Connor McDavid had 8 more points in 6 more games played, which means that Nikita Kucherov was literally the number 1 point per game guy in the league, if you exclude Oliver Bonk, who had 2 points in the 1 game that he played for Philadelphia. But Kucherov is the real deal. And he is a bona fide first-ballot Hall of Famer. He is still on top of his game, and the Tampa Bay Lightning are cited by many as the favorite out of the East. But what if I told you the Montreal Canadiens might just have a secret weapon to combat Nikita Kucherov and to potentially take down TBL? Let's talk today about Alexandre Texier out of the Montreal Canadiens, a guy who, by all accounts, I don't think anybody is going to say is even a definitive lock to being one of the 12 forwards that starts out the series between Montreal and Tampa Bay on Sunday. There is a chance that Texier isn't even included in the starting lineup, and that's not really all too unnatural. You look at all the guys that are here, okay, Texier could be on the second line, he could be out, who really knows what happens? But ultimately, this is the story here. Because unbeknownst to many Canadiens fans, Alexandre Texier actually has some history with Nikita Kucherov that could work in the Habs' advantage. I'm going to leave a link in the description of this article posted by Marco Normandin on HabsSolomonFan.com earlier in the week. Take a look at this scoop. Alexandre Texier drove Nikita Kucherov completely crazy when they faced off in the playoffs 7 years ago. This article was in French, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was in French. And then we translated it to English via the Google machine. So this will be in the description if you want to read Normandin's piece itself. But the Montreal Canadiens are indeed playing off against the powerful Tampa Bay Lightning to begin the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now all that remains is to decide, with their respective final games of the season, which of the two teams will have home ice advantage. Okay, so we already know this. We know that Tampa is technically the higher seed over Montreal. Let's go out there and take a look at this right here. The Canadiens may have a secret weapon for this series against Tampa. During an appearance on the Le Retour avec Martin Lemay podcast, analyst Jean-Luc Grandpierre recalled the famous first-round series back in 2019, where the Columbus Blue Jackets, as the 8th seed, eliminated the Tampa Bay Lightning in 4 straight games, even though the Lightning were heavily favored after finishing first in the regular season. Grandpierre claims that during this season, a certain Alexandre Texier played for the Blue Jackets and, under the orders of John Tortorella, was a real pest on the ice and drove star forward Nikita Kucherov completely crazy, who was also suspended for 1 game after losing his temper in the series. Could he pick up where he left off and become Martin St. Louis' secret weapon in this series? See the video excerpt in question below. Now here's the funny part. Alexandre Texier absolutely was a part of that Blue Jackets team that ended up really just completing history, eliminating the Tampa Bay Lightning in 4 games to open up that Stanley Cup playoff run. Let's head over onto 2018-19 and take a look at what the Blue Jackets and Texier were able to accomplish. This was a really surprising moment in NHL lore. The Lightning just posted up one of the best regular seasons ever. I think they had the record for most wins in a season, something crazy like that. And they were going up against the 8th seed Columbus Blue Jackets team. Lo and behold, the Blue Jackets went absolutely all in that season, and they said, screw it, even though we are the underdog, even though we are not really supposed to be a cup-contending team, we're going to make all these moves, and we're going to get all these top guys, and we're going to bring them on in a big attempt to try and make something happen. And make something happen, indeed. That's what they did. They had guys like Matt Duchene, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Cam Atkinson, Josh Anderson. On D, you had Seth Jones and Zach Werenski, David Savard, and Artemi Panarin was there too. Not on D, Panarin was up front. But a lot of these guys did end up leaving Columbus in short order. Duchene, Dzingel, of course Artemi Panarin, heck, even Alexandre Texier left after a while. But ultimately, this Blue Jackets team came out of the gate with so much momentum that they were actually able to win and embarrass the Tampa Bay Lightning, which led to one of the most infamous quotes, or not really quotes necessarily, but the messages that we had seen after from Tampa. What exactly was that? Tampa Bay Lightning 2019 tweet, is that what it was? Ah, yes, exactly, this is it. We don't have any words, and we know you don't want to hear them. We understand your anger, your frustration, your sadness, everything you're feeling. We get it. This isn't the ending we imagined, and certainly not the one we wanted. Thank you for being there the entire way. Twitter for iPhone. So obviously, Columbus, they surprised everybody with the win. But Alexandre Texier ended up scoring himself 2 goals in the final Game 4 to dethrone Tampa Bay. And Nikita Kucherov actually got suspended in that series because he laid an extremely dirty hit on Marcus Nudavara. According to the information from the Habs Solomon fan article, it turns out Alexandre Texier played a pretty big role in pissing off Nikita Kucherov and causing the guy to lose his cool. Might it be known that Nikita Kucherov is 32 years old right now, so back in 2019, he was, 25? Still in a pretty good spot in his career. He had just put up his 128-point campaign, which was, I believe, good enough to win him the Art Ross that season, if I recall correctly. Yes, it was. He won the Art Ross by a landslide. He was the #1 guy in overall NHL production, and in that season, that playoff run, the guy ended up getting all these penalty minutes. He got suspended for that Game 4. He didn't even play, and you can say that Alexandre Texier played a part in that because he was a pest. He was tasking himself with getting under Kucherov's skin. It worked. Kucherov made a dirty checking from behind hit on Marcus Nudavara, and it resulted in the suspension, which allowed Columbus to fully take control and destroy Tampa 7-4 in that Game 4. So ultimately, this was a point in NHL history that we are not going to forget. 7-3, excuse me. And we got to go out there and question whether or not Alexandre Texier has it in him to do the exact same thing again. Can you piss off Nikita Kucherov in 2026 and get this guy who is 7 years older to make some of the same mistakes as he once did? For what it's worth, Josh Anderson was also a part of that Blue Jackets squad that defeated Tampa in the first round. So you can say there are some Canadiens that are stepping into a position of luck here. With that said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Texier potentially being the kryptonite, not necessarily play-wise, but temperament-wise, for Nikita Kucherov? Do you think this actually makes sense? Do you think it's going to leave a mark in this series? Do you think Alexandre Texier even plays? I mean, he's listed on the second line right now, but all it takes is a guy like Brendan Gallagher coming back, and all of a sudden somebody's taken out of the lineup here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.